Hello, everybody. This is your friend. Hopefully, I can call you a friend, Tezer Moges. And anytime you see me on your feed, anytime you see me on your social media, I'm going to be talking to you about East Africa Showcase and our networking events. So, the next event I'm going to tell you about is actually not a networking event in the way that we've done it in the past. This one is going to be the first one that is outdoors. And this is definitely, hopefully, not the best networking event because we always want to do better with each one. But it's going to be the biggest for sure because it's going to be outdoors at a location. I'll tell you about the location in a separate video. But this is just to put you on notice. It's going to be June 28th. Saturday, June 28th, the last Saturday of June in 2025. And all I can tell you is that it's going to be a fun time. Fun time. I'm not going to be doing any presentations. There's no electronics there. There's no electricity. So I can't lecture you on anything, actually. But we're going to have great presentations, great conversations. I guess everything is a presentation if you think about it. But conversations between people that you might not otherwise have if you didn't attend the networking event. So if you're interested, reserve that date, June 28th, 2025. We're going to start at 1 p.m. and we're going to go all the way until people start leaving the venue. So I predict that's going to probably be 9 or 10 o'clock. So in terms of food, we have very limited budget, as you know. With any business, you have a limited budget. You're using your past profits, money you have on the balance sheet to pay for the food and the equipment that you're using today. So we have very little budget in terms of food, but we're gonna have a lot of homemade food, Habesha food, and we're also gonna have Western food. Unfortunately, it's fasting season on June 28th. But we're gonna have some food. My contribution, I hope I actually do this, but I probably will, is gonna be tuna sandwiches. Tuna sandwiches, I think people will be a fan of those. The people that like to eat sandwiches, that is. And in terms of Habesha food, what do I mean by Habesha food? I mean injera, different types of injera. I'm not the expert on injera, so, but we're gonna make the food and bring it to the location. So, because originally I was going to do burgers, they have some open grills at that location. But what I decided to do, I had a conversation with a very, very smart person who is in the food and beverage industry. And it was about sanitation. So, an outdoor grill that's unattended all throughout the winter probably has a lot of feces, bird feces, and raccoons, and all sorts of things getting in there, insects, ants. And so it's a sanitation hazard. People might get food poisoning. And I was never even thinking about that when I originally called it a barbecue. Now I'm calling it a picnic, okay? East Africa Showcase picnic. And what's motivating me to do this is, I've heard a lot about barbecues. I've heard a lot about cottage, I'm going to the cottage, and it's a very exclusive group that gets to go to the cottage. I mean, I'm not really that interested in cottages because they're usually like 3 hours away. But this is going to be in Toronto, of course, so you can access it by public transit. You can access it by car. I wouldn't even recommend going by car, to be honest, unless you like to pay $40 for parking. But it's going to be an accessible location. But usually I don't get invited to these kind of gatherings. So I said, why don't I create my own gathering? And here we are, picnic. So you can bring your own food, alcohol. It has been permitted to drink alcohol in public parks due to recent government decisions. So there's an alcohol venue that serves alcohol at the location. It's gonna be at the beach, okay? At the beach. So in Toronto, if you've been here for a while, there's only one beach. So yeah, we're gonna have a fun time there. And you are invited. If you're watching this, you are invited. You can click the link in my bio. You can send me a direct message. You can send me a WhatsApp message. You can send me an email, eastoronto@icloud.com. If you want more information, you can go to the website that I'm using called Partiful, and you can RSVP, and then you get automatic updates. It takes 2 minutes to sign up to RSVP, but that's only if you're interested. And what I've learned in doing this is that it's harder to get younger people out for some reason. It's much harder to get younger people out. And one day I'll figure out why that is. In business and in organizations, generally you need two things. You need trust and you need interest. Okay, trust is hard to get, but the only thing that's harder to get than trust is the interest. So if somebody's not interested in doing something, there's nothing you're gonna say that's going to make them interested sometimes. So, but it's a campaign. It's a campaign, you keep doing it. People keep seeing you on social media. People keep seeing you in different areas. They see you online, they see you offline. And I think we'll be successful. But either way, what's motivating this is serving the public. As you know, Canada is in a tough situation right now with the inflation and economic stagnation. There are basically no jobs in Toronto, that is. And yet somehow we have the highest housing costs anywhere in the world. Most people live in congregate living. Anyways, I'm not trying to make this about put a negative tone to this video. This is really about the picnic. Saturday, June 28th. This month for me is gonna be a campaign. You're gonna see me talk about it a lot. And I'll repeat what I said at the beginning of the video. If you're not interested, you can go watch something else. But Saturday, June 28th is gonna be our biggest event of the year. Everyone's invited. Oh, one more thing about kids. If you have young children, because I've heard so many stories of like, oh, my child is bored at home. They're watching YouTube, they're watching TikTok all day, every day because it's free. You don't have to pay anything. And generally to put your kid in sports, you gotta pay hundreds of dollars and probably thousands of dollars. Yeah, I don't think you're paying hundreds, you're paying thousands of dollars to put your kid in sports. Like organized sports. But, we can do our own sports. At that venue, we have so many different things. I like basketball. I'm gonna bring pylons for soccer. And then, if you want, you can swim in Lake Ontario if you're a swimmer. If you're not a swimmer, you don't have to do anything. But yeah, we're gonna have a fun time on that day. You're invited. It starts at 1 p.m. If you have work on that day, you can come after work. We're gonna be there all day. You can drop in, you can stay for 30 minutes. You can stay for 3 hours. You can stay from 1 p.m. until 10 p.m. You can stay the whole time. It's up to you. But expect more from me about the details in future videos. I hope everyone is having a great time and hope to see you soon. Thanks a lot.